They've tried to burn it, bomb it, starve it, and crush it. Yet, somehow, London always survives. More than that, it rises again and again and again. The name alone feels heavy, doesn't it? It's a city recognized by almost every person on Earth. The sound of Big Ben, the red buses, the black cabs, the skyline that fuses ancient stone with glass towers. But here's the twist. London wasn't destined for greatness. In fact, it almost didn't make it at all. Time after time, this city has been burned, bombed, abandoned, starved, and torn apart. And yet somehow, London always rises. Today, we're going to uncover how a small settlement on the Thames became not just a capital city, but a capital of the world. London's first spark was lit by the Romans nearly 2,000 years ago. In 43 AD, Roman legions crossed the Thames and set up shop at the narrowest point of the river. They named it Londinium. And at first, it wasn't glamorous, just a strategic stop to move troops and trade goods. But that tiny outpost would become the seed of something far greater. Still, Rome's plan nearly failed. Just 2 decades later, Queen Boudicca's rebellion stormed through, torching Londinium to the ground. Thousands were killed. For a moment, London was nothing but ashes. London's power has never come from its buildings or its rulers. It's come from its ability to rebuild, because this city is built on ashes. Every time disaster struck, London didn't just recover, it reinvented itself. When the Great Fire of 1666 tore through the streets, turning timber and thatch to glowing embers, most cities would have mourned. London saw an opportunity. Within months, architects like Christopher Wren were sketching the blueprints of a new world. Grander streets, stone cathedrals, stronger walls. Out of the smoke rose St. Paul's, a symbol not of what was lost, but of what was reborn. And it didn't stop there. Centuries later, when bombs rained from the skies during the Blitz, history repeated itself. Londoners huddled underground, not in fear, but in defiance. When they emerged, they didn't find ruin, they found reason. The rubble became renewal. That's the secret of this city's heartbeat. Destruction is never the end, only the start of something greater. Every era leaves its ashes behind, and London builds on top of them, layer by layer, story by story. Because London doesn't just survive history, it creates it. Ashes have never stopped this city. The Romans rebuilt, walls went up, basilicas and amphitheaters rose. By the 2nd century, Londinium was buzzing with life. Around 60,000 people lived there. A provincial capital had been born. Yet, the glory was short-lived. When the Roman Empire crumbled in the 5th century, they pulled their legions out. Without its protectors, London emptied almost overnight. For the first time, the city died. But here's what's wild. The Anglo-Saxons didn't revive the Roman ruins. Instead, they built their own settlement nearby, calling it Londonvik. Picture it, a lively market town west of the old Roman walls, around what's now Covent Garden. Merchants thrived. The first St. Paul's Cathedral was built. Christianity spread from here across the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. And yet, prosperity has a way of attracting predators. By the 9th century, longships carved their way up to the Thames. The Vikings had arrived. To them, London wasn't a city. It was a treasure chest waiting to be cracked open. They raided, they burned, they occupied. For a moment, London was under Norse control, but King Alfred the Great wasn't having it. In 886, he reclaimed London and forced the Saxons back behind the Roman walls. With new fortifications and a rebuilt bridge across the Thames, the city was reborn as Londonburg, fortified London. From this point on, London wasn't just surviving, it was learning to fight back. Then came 1066, the year that changed everything. William the Conqueror marched in after defeating Harold at Hastings. To stamp his authority, he built a stone fortress at the city's edge, the Tower of London. And here's the catch. The tower wasn't just defense, it was psychological warfare. A constant reminder to Londoners and to all of England that they had a new master. But London also gained something else. With Westminster Abbey hosting coronations and royal ceremonies, the city became the stage for England's monarchy. The crown and the city were now locked together. The medieval centuries brought a boom and chaos. London swelled to 80,000 people by 1300, filled with merchants, traders, and craftsmen. Guilds controlled the trades, from weavers to goldsmiths. London was already the financial heart of the kingdom. But prosperity came with a price. In 1348, the Black Death ripped through the city, killing thousands every week. Then came uprisings, like the Peasants' Revolt in 1381, when furious farmers marched on the city and torched government buildings. Still, through plague and protest, London kept pushing forward. But nothing tested London like the 17th century. Picture this, the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes caught with barrels beneath Parliament. Then, the bloody Civil War. Then, the Great Plague of 1665, killing 60,000 in a single year. And just when it seemed the city couldn't take any more, the Great Fire of 1666 roared through, destroying 4/5 of London in 4 days. It looked like the end. But it wasn't. Out of the fire rose Christopher Wren's masterpiece, a new St. Paul's Cathedral. London had been reduced to ashes once again, only to rise stronger, this time in stone and brick. By the 18th and 19th centuries, London was unstoppable. The Industrial Revolution turned it into the world's largest city, a roaring machine that drove the British Empire. Ships from every corner of the globe docked here. The Bank of England, the East India Company, Lloyd's of London, all operated from the capital. But behind the grandeur, reality was harsh. Overcrowded slums, poverty, and crime stalked the streets. This was the London of Dickens, the London of Oliver Twist. Yet even here, progress marched on. The creation of the police, the railways, and the underground. London wasn't just growing, it was expanding into a modern metropolis. Then came the 20th century, and with it, devastation on a scale never seen before. In World War II, the Blitz rained fire down on London. Entire neighborhoods were flattened. Yet through the bombs, one symbol stood tall, St. Paul's Cathedral, miraculously surviving while the city burned around it. For Londoners, this wasn't just survival, it was defiance. The city's resilience became global. And when the war ended, London transformed yet again. New housing replaced bombed-out ruins. Waves of immigrants arrived from across the Commonwealth, reshaping the city into one of the most multicultural capitals on the planet. The swinging 60s turned it into the cultural epicenter of the world, from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones to Carnaby Street fashion. And as the decades rolled on, London embraced reinvention after reinvention, financial powerhouse, Olympic host, cultural melting pot. Today, London isn't just a capital. It's an ecosystem of languages, cultures, and histories colliding in real time. Nearly 9 million people live here, with over 300 languages spoken. Walk its streets, and you're not just seeing the past. You're walking through centuries of survival, destruction, and rebirth layered on top of each other. So when people call London the capital of the world, it's not just about money or politics. It's about resilience. London doesn't just rise once. It rises again and again and again.